scripture for what you do, because from all you have been talking about, what you actually do is you help people brand themselves from the inside, and of
Yeah.
course then to the outside. So your own approach to personal branding comes from the inside. You do like
Yeah.
a surgery on people's hearts, on people's minds, on people's
Absolutely. You got that.
character.
You got
And
that.
that was a scripture in the book of Samuel, when God told the prophet Samuel to go and anoint one of the sons of Jesse, and Jesse
Yeah.
brought out all his sons who were in the military, and many of them
Yeah.
were physically looking like they could be kings. And when he was going
Yeah.
to anoint some of them, God would say, no, men look at the outward appearance, but I look at the heart. So that's what I'm getting from you, that you are more interested in people's heart, because out of the heart flows the issues of life. So if you can brand your
Absolutely.
heart, I mean, if you can take personal branding and start from within, and then the sons who were in
Eventually,
the
it'll
military
affect.
and the outward appearance. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly. You got it right. You got it right.
Mm,
Because virtually everything that we do is from within.
yeah.
Virtually, virtually everything that is manifested in the physical is from within. So if
Mm,
someone decides to exhibit wickedness, someone decides to do bad to someone else, the person might have thought about it, planned it, strategized on how to go
mm,
about it, and then execute
that's
it.
right. That's right.
So once the mind, and that's why I can easily call myself a mindset doctor too, because that's exactly what I do
Yes.
to get into the
Yes.
mind and to be able to get it refined. So my refining people or refinement process begins from
Mm,
within. So people who come under my mentorship most times, they discover even more about themselves that they need to, they need to bring out and brush up. They discover even more in the process of the work with me.
Gloria, somebody's watching and somebody's listening in their homes, in their offices, and they're asking and saying, Gloria, um, I'm the way I am today because of my upbringing, my childhood, you know, the environment I grew up in. This is how we behave. This is how I was taught to respond. This is how I was taught to relate with people. And such a person, they have good intentions, but everything they do comes out wrong. They may show some level of pride. They may be a little bit arrogant. They may be a little bit ungrateful, not because they really want to, but looking at their upbringing and their childhood, this is what had influenced what they now express. How would you help such a person, as someone who helps people polish their characters and their brand? What will you do to such a person to change their current behavior to a more desirable behavior?
All right. So if upbringing, if I meet someone like that who has a situation with upbringing, the first thing I need from that person is that realization that this attitude of mine, this character of mine, this behavior of mine is from my foundation.
Mm,
One of the things I'm going to help the person do is to hold the person by the hand and take the person back into, the upbringing. Let's see where you're coming from. And then
mm,
there are series of questions that I ask such a person that helps the person to realize that it's from the home. Once we can pinpoint and identify that, the work has started, and it makes it easier for me and
yeah.
for the person to be able to discover certain things. My
Mm,
joy is going to be that this person has realized that it's from home. Now,
yeah.
everything that is from home, I'm talking about an adult now, a full grown adult. Once a person has
Mm,
gotten to a level where, like they say, I'm an African woman and I know you're an African man. I don't know who else is listening to us that are not Africans. So I'm going to
oh yeah.
say that they say is it an adage that says that when a crayfish is roasted, you hardly
Mm,
can stretch a how do they put a roasted crayfish, like they've already roasted it, so is hard for you to, if you try to stretch it, it's
You
going to
break it.
break. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you stretch it when it's fresh, it's going to just follow you up like that. Same thing with fish, a fresh fish. Now, when we are younger, we are fresh. It's easier for people to bend us. And
Yep.
that's one
Yep.
of
To
the
mold
reasons
them.
yeah, that's one of the reasons I also go into schools and go into young people to also polish them and, teach them what it takes to live a proper life and try to unwind some of the things that were
Mm.
already being put in them. I don't take children out of it. I don't take teenagers out of my course. I run courses with them, which
Mm.
helps them to stay polished and all that. So because I
Yep.
know that it's sometimes very difficult to be able to stretch a full-grown man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, The Distinguished Ladies and Gentlemen. The reason
Mm.
is because I know I'm still going to talk about this, but I need to bring it up here for you to know that sometimes one of the things that made me write this book is because I couldn't reach out to everybody to keep saying the same message all over again. And I felt like if I write a book, I'm going to pour out so much inside that can help a man to become a gentleman, because a man is raw. A man in his state is raw. A
Yep.
woman in her state, our natural state, is raw. But
Mm.
a gentleman has gone through the process of refinement. For you to
Okay.
say, oh, this guy is a gentleman,
Mm.
he's gone through the process of refinement. For you to say
Mm.
this woman is a lady, oh wow, she's such a lady. She's gone
The
through
broken
a process
initiative.
of refinement. And that is exactly the process, is what is in this book. To tell you, oh, you've been this, you've been this, you've been this. Get close to that door, shut the door behind you. Why don't you now say, you've been there before? Get close that door, shut the door behind you. Why don't you now say, could you please shut the door behind you?
Could you
Could you
please?
please shut the door behind you? Or could you get me a cup of water there, please?
Mm.
That's a gentleman talking, not a man. A man will
Mm.
command, a gentleman will not. So, taking people through this process of understanding that being a gentleman is different from being a man, being a lady is different from being a woman, and then be distinguished means that you're taking the person out, you're going to take yourself out of that particular position and stand out to make the difference in your character, in your speech, in your words, in your dressing, in your attitude, in your behavior, whether you are in the
Right.
workplace, you are just anywhere. So if this takes me back to the initial point, where if this was someone who's got a familiar problem, let me use the word familiar, foundational problem from home, then we know once the person is able to identify that, it makes job easier for me, because the process is now going to be easy. Unlike someone who doesn't know that this problem I'm having, the problem of smacking my wife, the problem of screaming on my co-workers, the problem of, because I'm the boss, I've got to boss everybody around. It's not just starting from the moment you started
Gloria,
making
sorry to
money.
cut you short. There
Yeah.
is a caller. Oh, we
Okay.
just missed a call. Someone just called. I hope they call back. And so I'm sure this caller is gunning for the book that's up for grab. So when this caller calls
It's
in,
fine.
well, I'll leave the floor open for you to,
Okay.
present the criteria for them to win the book. So I expect them to call back. Okay, continue.
All right. Okay. So am I supposed to talk about the criteria now, or I just finished what I'm
Uh,
saying first?
no, no, don't talk about it now. When the person calls, then you just lays
Okay.
it down for the person. Yeah. But
Oh,
before
it's
you continue, because I want a lot of people who are listening are business people, entrepreneurs, people working in the marketplace, and they're wondering, how does this affect me? How does this affect business? And so I just want you to just say a little bit about, how does personal branding, in customer service helps organizations save and retain more customers?
Affect business. How does,
Still,
yeah,
how does personal
because
branding, like all you shared, how does it help an organization?
yeah, personal branding definitely helps an organization to do far better than they were doing before. Reasons: if you have customers who are well refined coming to you, and your attendants or a customer service representative does not know how to speak with that customer, you are going to lose that customer because it's going to be a put off to such a customer. A customer service representative who is raw with her words. A customer service representative who is raw with her words, who's got attitude problem, who is not patient, who cannot tolerate a client who asks so many questions. For example, I am a client that are now asking is because clarity on what you are about to give to me, what I'm about to count my hard-earned money to pay. Once I can get understanding of such, you need someone to explain. Now, if you have a customer representative in an organization who is not a customer service representative, the customer, who when the client asks one question, she frowns her face, she gives this attitude, and this attitude can easily be spotted. Yes, this attitude can easily be spotted. If you have a refined person come into your organization and all you do is you are attending to the person and you're frowning your face and you're giving this attitude like, hey guy, you're disturbing me. Ask your questions once and go. I've met a lot of people like that. And sometimes I'm like, God, how can this person, how did this person come to this particular organization? Because the person is going to ruin the business for the business owners. So it will need the business owner to discover such a thing. First of all, business owner who is raw, who does not know how to talk to people, because just like John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
Everything rises and falls on leadership. Yes. Once a leadership is not able to get refined, when
Hi, Gloria, can you hear me?
Leader is raw. A leader has attitude problems. Percent of workers are going to be doing the same thing to clients, and he won't be able to talk because he himself is raw. But when a leader has gone through the process of personal branding and is refined and already knows what he or she is doing there as the leader, as the boss, there is every tendency that he or she will want the best for his organization if he's actually there for business. If it's not there, because I can't, especially now that things are a bit hard, I can't come throw my money on you just because you opened a beautiful office. So you can paint your office, your organization very beautiful, your staff wear the best of clothing, but if there is issue with attitude, if there is issue with their inability to attend to the client, they are going to have issues. Those clients, there's a book I'm writing right now, talks about getting prospects, sourcing for prospect and keeping them, being able to manage them. I'm working on that book and it's going to come out and it's going to be very good because in my work with most real estate organizations and all that, training the associate and all that, I discovered that they have virtually the same issues where the prospects are watching out for something. They come to you, you go to them, they've seen you, you're good looking, but you don't have good manner of approach to them. So they are watching you. They see that you are desperate. They see that you are not patient when they ask you certain questions. A prospect that asks you question like, when I say prospect, I'm talking about clients to be, soon to be customers. Okay, a prospect that asks you so many questions about your product, maybe like 10 questions. You answer this, he asks another one, ask you. He wants to have understanding. He wants to get that very well. So the best way, patience is the virtue that every organization needs to have for you to relate with your clients, for you to get them to listen to you and then come purchase or patronize you. Patience is one of the virtues that you need. Good character is another virtue. In fact, a strong character is another. See, when I talk about strong character, it's deeper than what I'm doing here right now, because it's a deep thing. The weak and the strong character, I love to do a strong analysis of it, and you find them so much in organization. You find these people with strong character and with weak character so much in many organizations, and they are there. If they're the ones that are just waiting for month end to collect their salary, then it makes it a bit difficult because they're going to pretend along. But the reality is that what they do outside the boss, outside the system, is what matters with the client.
Gloria, it is very obvious that people need to get your book, because you have so you have so enticed us with all that you said, that there is no reason anyone should say they won't get your book. So quickly, in 2 minutes, tell us, how can they get your book, distinguished ladies and gentlemen? How can they get your book?
All right. So number one, I've tried to put in different ways in which they can get the book. Amazon, the book is on Amazon. I'm going to send the link for if you want the ebook or you want the hard copy. Amazon is prepared to send that to you. And then if you want, you want a personal, sorry. Yeah, if you want, I'm also working on it to get into Okada books. In fact, nearly all the book markets that I can put it for anybody who wants to purchase, maybe not in Nigeria. And if you're in Nigeria, I'm actually based in Lagos State. If you're in Nigeria and you want to have a one-on-one, not just buying the book, you want to have a one-on-one interaction with me while getting the book, I can also arrange for that. My number is going to be out. I'm sure Michael is going to put up my number for you to be able to reach me, or my social media handles to be able to reach me. Just send me a DM to say, I need the book, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to get the book, because a lot is loaded here. So you can either call me for it, or you check out Amazon for it. The link is going to be displayed. I'm going to put it out for you to go get the book.
Okay, so for those outside the country, it's on Amazon. For those within the country, they can get it when they contact you.
Anywhere you are in Nigeria, we can actually parcel it for you. If you don't want to go to
Facebook page and Instagram and send you a DM, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah. So you just go to Facebook, the Brand Polisher, Instagram, the Brand Polisher, and send her a DM, and then she will let you know how you will get the book. If you're within Nigeria, within Lagos, or
absolutely.
I know Gloria personally, and I know what is in that book. So I will encourage you to go and get that book. So from us to you, here is a round of applause for being one of those exceptional Nigerians who, using your skill to keep polishing people, and of course to impact our community. Thank you so much for being extraordinary. Thank you for being phenomenal. Your new book, I can only pray that it goes beyond Nigeria to other parts of the world, and it impacts people. Here is a round of applause to you, Gloria Robson. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Thank you.
We just gave you a round of applause right here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for everybody who has tuned in. God bless you. If you did enjoy this episode on Facebook and YouTube, you can share it. And of course, if you want to reach our guest, just go to Facebook, Gloria Robson, the Brand Polisher, or on Instagram, brand polisher. Send her a DM, get her book, and of course, let her help you polish your character and your attitude. Let her come and train your staff and your organization. And of course, you will not regret it. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for our caller. We'll try to get one book to the caller who called in today. And for those of you who would also want to be part of the show, don't forget, you can always watch the replay on YouTube. Please make sure that you don't miss next week's edition. Is going to be interesting, and I have someone special coming to speak with us. How we said here on the show, a positive mindset is all we need for a better society. So, what do we want you to do? Think positive, speak positive, and remain optimistic to refresh Nigeria. Till I come your way next week, Friday. My name is M.O. Oladapo. And if your hands are not too busy, give yourselves a round of applause. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Bye.
All right. Take care.